I'm kind of just doing this like live. Like, I'm not gonna edit it because I really can't. So I'm gonna kind of just freeball it. So just work with me here. So I just seen the Uncharted trailer, like the second one, and I wanted to get it embedded in my mind before I do this because I don't want to like mess up because I don't want to re-record this, but I feel like I might have to. But you know, it is what it is. So I just seen the second trailer, and honestly, I liked it. I think it's way better than the first one because the first one, there was just so much wrong with it. And I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with this one. Like, there's still a little bit of concern, but at least what they showed gave me more confident that it might be the better video game movie out of the three: Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and Uncharted. Because I don't get why it's that hard to really make a decent video game movie. And if I ever compare it now or in the future or something, Sonic the Hedgehog is legit the high bar of how video game movies should be made. And the worst of them all is Resident Evil. And I wanted to do like my review on it. Maybe I might in the future, but just so you know, I fucking hated that movie so much that I almost walked out the movie when I watched it. And I was so excited to watch it. I knew the movie had some issues, but what the movie did for me, I've never been so disappointed in a movie ever, and I've seen bad movies, but that one was really bad. So I hope to God Uncharted does not become another Resident Evil where I just want to get up and walk out the movie, not even halfway through it. So this movie has to have a bigger budget due to the casting and like the CG and all that other shit. At least this one actually is given more than my expectations, because the casting is still an issue, but I'm not going to look towards that because I'm tired of complaining about it, and it's frankly tiresome because everyone's doing the same things, like beating a dead horse. So, you know, they still show like, you know, Tom being Tom, Sully, or, you know, Mark Wahlberg being Sully, and honestly, I don't even care at this point. Just, I hope to God the story is really good to where I don't have to like just compare it to what the games did, because we all know they're going to do references from the games because you have to, it makes sense, but I don't want them to do too much where it's going to be considered fan service. So they showed more cinema footage, like, you know, them at the auction place, you know, they showed the plane scene again, and still I don't think that should be in the movie, the first one. And I feel like this movie did show a little bit too much with like how they're going to get the treasure out of there. So they pulled Uncharted 1 mixed with Uncharted 4. They got the helicopter to take out the cargo like Uncharted 1, but then the ship is just basically from Uncharted 4. So it's a mix of the two, which I don't mind. I think is clever, and this is actually what I wanted them to do. Even though you can still compare it, I want them to do their own thing instead of just copying from what another game did, because the plane thing, it still bothers me. I feel like he's not experienced to be put through that situation to make it feel not believable, because, you know, there's no way you can survive that. But, you know, at least for Nathan Drake, with what he's going through, they should have just waited for that one. But it still seems like it's going to be a really interesting movie. You know, they had some funny moments in the trailer. They pulled the lever thing, the spikes, 50-50, like that was funny. So I expected to at least have some good laughs. Assuming the fight scene is going to be really well choreographed, and I just don't want Drake to instantly pull off a 1v3 in every single altercation. Like, I want him to actually get his ass kicked a little bit, just to show that, okay, he doesn't have the plot armor that he had in the video games, you know. They didn't really show too much of Chloe. It was more of a Sully trailer, if you really want to think about it. So at the end of the trailer, and I think that's a post-credit scene, it seems like something that will happen at the end or some shit, but Sully comes in, you know, Nate has his like red shirt like he did in Uncharted 3 when he first met Sully, and then Sully had his young Sully outfit with the, you know, the green shirt, the tank top, and he had his mustache. Wasn't as bushy as his original, but it's there, and there was a lot of people who were complaining about it, and I'm just like, it is what it is. At least they actually are trying to do something, you know, to the source material. And it'll be better if Mark had a more graspy voice. Like, he sounds too clean when he talks. Like, Sully, at least what I think they're trying to go for, and I hope they stick with it, because that's how Sully was when he first started. He was kind of a sleazeball, like he'll probably do what's in his interest, but it'll probably end up working good at the end. But I want him to do like some sleazeball shit, because honestly I still like Uncharted 3's version of Sully, because he was more of a father figure, and you know, he was trying to, you know, not do anything, like it's not even his fault or whatever, if you know what I mean. Like Uncharted 1, Sully told, you know, Gabriel Roman, was got them in that situation, like he was like, you know, greedy, but then over time he became more of a father figure to Nate, so he had that type of supportive role. And even though I like that version, I guess it's good just to have some type of complication with like how Nate and Sully are going to be acting towards each other, because Nate seems like he'll try to do something genuine, and Sully might have the interest for himself because they just met. And the boat scene seemed pretty cool. I'm kind of like, I might be going back and forth with this because I'm thinking this off the top of my head, but I think this movie really might be the better movie out of the three. And I said before, like, these movies might be like, there's no way it can go lower than a 7, but honestly Mortal Kombat was low-key a 6. I said it was a 7, but I was being kind of nice. I did enjoy it, but there were parts of it that I didn't like, and just the decision making. And yeah, there's supposed to be another movie, but we don't know how long that's going to take, so it's just like what we're sitting through with it now just doesn't feel right. Resident Evil, like I want to give it like a 2, but that's kind of harsh. Like, at least the movie was a movie. I mean, it did feel weird and cheap with like what they did with everything, but that's something for like a different time if I ever do it. But I give that shit like a 5, and that extra point is me just enjoying one part about it, or just like one aspect about it. But Uncharted, I feel like that movie is going to be the better one, despite everybody complaining about it, because that was the one that had the most criticism, to be honest, because it was legit just the casting. Just Nate and Sully. There's like, oh, you couldn't have gotten somebody better or somebody different. But if they didn't have any controversies with the castings, I'm pretty sure the movie would have been, you know, not getting shit talked the way it is. But I'm kind of tired of it. I'm hoping this movie does good, because these other movies are just, I don't want to watch it no more, and I don't want to look back towards it, because I swear to God, it's not that hard. You don't have to go, you know, key by key with every scene from the video game, but just make an interesting story, have the actors who you hire to play as those characters do a decent job. And I'm not even blaming the actors for any of this. I blame the script. They better have a good ass script in this Uncharted movie, because if it's too, not cheesy, but just too questionable, it's like, why did y'all do that? Then I'm gonna be pissed off, and I don't want to be pissed off. And I'm sorry there's like no gameplay in the back, because I'm doing this live and I didn't feel like, you know, flipping through the controller and whatever. I can't edit it the way how I wanted it to, so hopefully this doesn't end up being an issue. Then I think it is. It probably could be an issue, but I just pray that Uncharted is a really good movie. I hope it's a good movie, because with what I'm not saying Uncharted, what Resident Evil did to me, I'm just tired of it. To be honest, like, I never really had too many interests with like video game movies, but you know, I thought, oh, we have better technology, you know, the castings are usually top notch, we can do this, we can fucking finally do this. But no, they just want to do something else and just completely ruin the experience. And if people actually do enjoy these movies, okay, that's fine. I would like to know why they like the movie or why they don't like the movie. I like discussions like that, because, you know, I don't want to just, well, it kind of seems like I'm kind of ranting about it, the way how I sound, but I hope people do enjoy this movie and the other ones. But I personally didn't, and I want to know why people like that movie, even if you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan, because there are actually a lot of hardcore Resident Evil people who actually do like that movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, and I'm surprised by it. And then there were people, casual people, that liked it. Okay, fair, they don't know what the video games did, or they don't like it. I'm like, okay, even if they don't like it, then that shows that you're doing something wrong. So yeah, I think that's it. The trailer, I mean, the trailer technically didn't show too much. They showed just like extended scenes, but they at least showed more where it got a little bit interesting. And hopefully the movie has a good soundtrack, because I'm not really. I feel like it might not have a good soundtrack, but you know, they're gonna have the like only little version of like the Uncharted theme song or whatever. But I just hope they don't do too much with the crazy moments, and hopefully the fight scenes are really good and believable for Nathan Drake standards. And I hope that the comedy is gold, because I actually do expect this movie to be funny instead of like, it doesn't have to be serious, and I don't expect it to be serious, but it needs to be funny because that's the charm of the characters that we've been playing with for like 10 years, you know? So yeah, I like the second trailer. Gives me more hope that the movie will succeed. The first trailer, don't ever watch it. First impressions are really important. So if this second trailer was the first trailer, I feel like it could have been better for the reception. But that's all I have to say.